Hello friends, Pauline Wynn here. This is the third reading from my book, The Way of the Spiritual Entrepreneur, The 7 Secrets to Becoming Fearless, Stress-Free and Unshakable in Business and in Life. This reading is from the very first chapters. What is spiritual? Being spiritual means that we incorporate our heart, our mind and our soul into our business and our spirit into our work. If we are in spirit, we are inspired. The most fulfilled people I have ever met are the ones who are inspired. Spirituality opens our minds to a greater wisdom and truth and opens our hearts to a greater love and appreciation. Spirituality, therefore, is a natural state of being. Being spiritual also is not about being overtly spiritual. The first things my shamans ever taught me was this. Do not get too spiritual, Pauline, otherwise you will lose the plot completely. They taught me that as a spiritual leader with the power to teach and the power to heal, it is easy to fall into the trap of ego and arrogance. Instead, they told me, stay grounded. Always be humble against your own limitations. Let your personality be your greatest work of art. Let go of your self-righteousness and habit of judging everything. Befriend your ego before you listen to the bullshit that just tells you to destroy it. Ego is what keeps you alive. Spirit is living life to the full. We need both to navigate this life. To be spiritual is to possess a transcendent mind. Transcendence will set you free. The transcendental mind sees both sides of an event. This allows us to have absolute presence. The immanent mind only sees one side without the other, but the speed at which you can see both sides of an event means you are operating at a higher frequency and have chosen enlightenment over endarkenment. The practice is to use this energy to transcend your limitations and to channel abundance and courage. When you ascend into a higher dimensional field, you will never think the same way again. There is no turning back. You cannot unknow what you now know. At its core, the way of the spiritual entrepreneur is the process of self-realization, which in itself is a deeply spiritual practice. It's about getting really aware of yourself and where you really are. Behind the self is who you really are, which is the true expression of your universe, your universe. It is not who you take yourself to be, but who you are in this moment at your very, very best, expressing yourself now and not from the bondage of past structures. Spirituality is not about being in some higher realm, but the true expression of you. With self-realization comes freedom. Freedom from self. Freedom from self will give you clarity. You will be calmer and more responsive in the world rather than being a reactive self. Before we can begin to understand others, we must first interrogate and understand ourselves. When we can deeply know, accept, and influence ourselves, we can then master the art of influence over others and be of greater service to our families and our communities at home and on a global scale. To know thyself is to thyself be true. In a world that reveres superficiality, the spiritual entrepreneur goes deep.